I feel so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted. By my side is where you're sitting, in my life is where you fit in, yeah. I never thought that I would get this far. I wanna drive around in the nice cars, I wanna forget about my scars and just have a good night. I smoke something down, I drink something down. I'm feeling it now, I'm feeling it now. I could say it out loud. When I see you, my heart goes whoa. I feel so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted. By my side is where you're sitting, in my life is where you fit in. I feel so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted. By my side is where you're sitting, in my life is where you fit in, yeah. I never thought that I would get this far. I wanna drive around in the nice cars, I wanna when I see you, my heart goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NEXXTCAR Racing League here on iRacing. Tonight, the NEXXTCAR Truck Series heads to the newest super speedway on the NASCAR circuit, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Last season, Nick Trudeau was able to survive a wild last lap here as he went on to grab his second win of the season right here on the new high banks of Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now, he is looking to back that performance up to grab his first win of Season 2. Peyton Tulloch, David Chandler, Matt Tucker, and Andrew Bolander all fell victim to the white flag mayhem last season while running inside the top 5. These drivers are going to have their hands full tonight around this track. Atlanta Motor Speedway, the most recent NASCAR track to find itself reconfigured, but maybe this one turned out for the better. The racing here last season was fantastic in both the NEXXTCAR truck and cup races. These drivers are going to have some big shoes to fill tonight to back that performance up from last season. This is NEXXTCAR, and this is the new and improved mini super speedway of Atlanta Motor Speedway.
It has to happen, gotta prove myself. It has to happen, like this, like this. You're going up against the greatest, and it's gonna get messy. If you wanna try to test me, you're going up against the greatest. Take a swing, you're gonna miss me. Yeah, it's going down in history. I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to another Sunday night with the NEXXTCAR Racing League. Tonight, it's the Truck Series turn to head to the new high banks of Atlanta Motor Speedway. Last season, this track provided some great racing for both series, the trucks and cups, so these drivers looking to back that performance up once again here tonight, as these drivers are going to have their hands full tonight. There's absolutely no doubt about it. But we are officially now in week 7 in the second half of season 2. We're 6 races down, and we have got 4 races left this season, including this one here tonight. Let's go ahead and let's check out your Truck Series standings. Things are really starting to heat up after last week at Canadian Tire really shook the top 2 standings up. Ronnie Norman and Brandon Dunford, well, their battle's heating up here. Just 3 points separate first and second. And then Matt Tucker, 22 points back behind second and third, with Peyton Tullock and Nicholas Trudeau rounding out your top 5. Mitch Diamond, Aaron Moore, Larson, Bocock, and Bolander all find themselves in the top 10. And then you can see the rest of the field from 11th on back. 36 Truck Series drivers this season have put their helmets on here, and they have taken to the tracks here of the NEXXTCAR Truck Series. Well, tonight, these drivers are looking to get those numbers up. Last week, it was a struggle fest for a lot of these guys, but it made these points races interesting here. Like we talked about, the points just heating up now between Norman and Dunford, and who knows, Tucker, your defending Cup Series champion, can come out here and he can have a solid night tonight, and he could get his name entered in the hat for this championship here in the Truck Series. That is the greatest thing about iRacing, is it is just the land of the unknown. No one knows what's going to happen in these races, just like last week at Canadian Tire. Nick Trudeau last season won it in season 1, but last week was anything but the race that number 89 truck needed. He's still sitting 5th in the points, but he definitely did not have a great race. Stephen Henning, on the other hand, had himself a fantastic race, but it was not enough to keep Dunford from finding his way to victory lane for the first time this season, getting it done north of the border at Canadian Tire. But folks, these drivers tonight are going to have their hands full. Atlanta Motor Speedway reconfigured, a mini super speedway, as if Daytona and Talladega had a baby. This is the result. This track is fast. This track is narrow. And that means we're in for some great racing tonight. These guys only have about 4 minutes left here in practice, and then it is time to hit the track for qualifying. But you can see it right there. 17 drivers have put down a lap time right now. We're looking at 24 in the lobby. So, folks, we are going to have ourselves a full race tonight. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. And, folks, you are not going to want to leave before the end of this race, because after post-race interviews, well, we got some breaking news to go over that will be taking effect starting next week here in NEXXTCAR. So, that is going to be some news you are not going to want to miss, and it's going to be a great race. We're going to leave it off with that. It's going to be a race that y'all are not going to want to miss. But right now, Steve Bocock topping the standings right now with a 30.68 lap time. That is bad fast, folks. You can see these guys bumper to bumper here as they make their way around the new 33-degree banking of Atlanta Motor Speedway. The 3 and the 19. Big saves there by both those guys. We just talked about him. Dunford in that 19 truck, getting it done last week at Canadian Tire. Robert Asong making his return to NEXXTCAR. And talking about a return to NEXXTCAR, folks, that number 51 Toyota Tundra of Dustin Bloodworth. That is a name that has not been talked about in the NASCAR community out on the track in a very long time. But Dustin Bloodworth making his return to NEXXTCAR. He was a part of this league quite a few seasons ago back on NASCAR Heat. Well, now he has made the transition to iRacing. He contacted Nick and I this week. And Dusty, welcome back to NEXXTCAR, brother. It is great to have you back out there, and it is awesome to see some NEXXTCAR legends making their returns here to the league. Absolutely love it. But Dusty making his debut tonight. Hopefully it can go good for him. I know he said he's going to try to work with some guys, just kind of ride around in the back, not mix some things up. But you never know, Dusty. Luck can be your way tonight. But folks, these guys have just over 2 minutes left here in practice, and then it is time to hit the qualifying track. But right now, Bocock, Hissong, Schultz, Tucker, and Branson, your top 5 right now here in practice. You can see now 19 drivers have put down a lap time. Alberto Abar rounding it out, 1.91 seconds behind Bocock. But Tulloch, Moore, Erickson, and Norman wrapping up the back end of the practice lobby. But folks, we talked about it. Some breaking news coming out this week, or going to be announced this week tonight, and then obviously tomorrow night for the Cup Series side. But yeah, it's that announcement will be made after the post-race interviews tonight. So make sure you stick around for that. But guys, these guys have a minute and a half left here in practice. Right now, we're looking at 25 people right now in the lobby. Absolutely gonna be a fun-filled race here tonight. What a race to do it here at Atlanta. This track is fast, this track is mean, and you have got to be careful. You cannot use the bumpers like you can at Daytona and Talladega. You have got to rely on the air while making your way around this 1.5 mile track. Yeah, it's listed as a super speedway, but it races like anything other than a super speedway. Yeah, these guys are going to be bumper to bumper, side by side, beating and banging, drafting off each other. But these guys are going to have to be careful with it, because if you use that bumper too aggressive, well, you see how narrow this track is. This is not Talladega where you can go 4 or 5 wide. If you make a mistake and you get loose here at Atlanta, especially if you're up at the front of the field, oh, buddy, you're taking out a lot of guys with you. So these drivers are going to have to be careful. They're going to have to be patient. But these guys have 10 seconds left before they head to qualifying. 21 drivers have put down a lap. You can see the ticker swapping over. This race is going to be a good one tonight. But let's but you can see it. The time is at 000 for practice. It is now officially qualifying time here for the NEXXTCAR Truck Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway. All the trucks have disappeared. Well, that means it is time to get your race information up for tonight. 120 laps here around this 1.5 mile track here in week 7 of Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Mini Super Speedway 180 presented by HVAC Designs and W Energy. HVAC Designs, owned and operated by our very own Matthew Erickson. He is your reigning Truck Series champion from season 1, but he has decided this season he is going to step out of the truck, and he is your official race control for the NEXXTCAR Racing League in all 3 series. And he has painted a bunch of these beautiful trucks that you're going to see out here tonight, and a bunch of the Cup cars you will see out here tomorrow night. But then we got W Energy coming back aboard once again. But this temperature, 82 degrees Fahrenheit air temperature, 75% humidity under partly cloudy skies with that wind 14 mile an hour out of the north. So these trucks, they're going to not only be fighting themselves and fighting the draft, well, they got some 14 mile an hour winds they're going to have to deal with as well. You know, it's going to make things interesting when they're heading into turn number 1 and turn number 3. Well, they're going to be dealing with those 14 mile an hour winds, and that's going to be pushing their trucks up towards that outside wall. And if you're on that inside, you have got a lot more to battle, as you're going to have to try to keep that truck out of the guy on your outside. But we talked about it. 1.5 mile track here. Track temperature at 87 degrees. So it's a little hot, but not bad. This track is going to have a little bit of grip to it, but these drivers better not get used to it, because as the time keeps going by, this track's going to get hotter, and when the track gets hotter, that track gets slicker, and these drivers are going to have their hands full tonight. Like we talked about it, the final lap of the race last season, when that white flag dropped, well, it was on, and mayhem followed. Paint to luck, as soon as that white flag dropped, him and David Chandler got together coming out of the tri-oval, and that took them out of the race. And then heading into turn one, well, Matthew Tucker and Andrew Bolander found themselves getting together once again heading into turn number one, and Nick Trudeau was able to prevail and win a wacky one there last season right here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Are we in for another great race tonight? I certainly hope so, folks. But we've got a couple of guys already putting down some lap times here. Right now, Brandon Dunford, I take that back. Jonathan Wright's going to jump up to first with Trenton Branson second. Brandon Dunford's going to fall back to third. Aaron Moore fourth. And Ronnie Norman, the guy that had the truck to beat all week last Sunday at Canadian Tire. Well, we talked about it. In season one at Canadian Tire, it came down to whoever was going to make the least amount of mistakes. Well, Ronnie Norman made himself a very costly mistake last week. He had the truck to beat, like I just said, but he just could not escape himself after spinning. He gave up the lead to finish third, but Ronnie Norman right now is going to move up to the fourth position with Aaron Moore rounding out your top five. These drivers have about 2 more minutes to put down a qualifying lap, as now you see Steve Bocock skyrocket to the front. He is now going to be top of the leaderboard with a 32.38. You saw him in practice. Steve Bocock was fast. He put down the fastest lap in practice, but that was with a bunch of other guys out there on the track with him. Well, here in qualifying, as you can see, there are no other trucks out there on the track. Well, it's lone qualifying. It's just you and yourself out there on the track, and Steve is showing that, hey, buddy, I talked to him pre-race. He said he was feeling very confident. He felt that this was definitely going to be a place for him to, park that truck in victory lane for the first time, and he is showing that 12 truck has definitely got some speed in her. And then Jonathan Wright, Trudeau, Branson, and Dunford wrapping up your top 5 with Larson right behind them. But these times are still very close to each other. I mean, you can throw a blanket over second, third, and fourth there. So it's going to be fast tonight. These trucks, these drivers are going to have their hands full. They're going to have to be careful. They're going to have to be patient, because this track, yeah, it races like a super speedway, but it is not wide like a super speedway. Daytona, you can go 4 wide. Talladega, you can go 5 wide. Well, don't you dare think about doing it here at Atlanta, because it is not going to work out for you by any means. But Dusty Bloodworth going to work his way up to second right now, making his return to NEXXTCAR, his debut here on iRacing, and we have got ourselves a wild front row here in this one. Bocock and Bloodworth possibly going to be leading the field to the green flag here in this one. These guys got about 15 seconds left in qualifying, so we'll have to wait and see if anyone puts down a lap and if anyone can top these two. But right now, 15 drivers have put down a qualifying lap. Right now, Jeff Taylor rounding them out in 15th, 3 seconds off the pace. He definitely obviously spun during it, but that is going to be it for qualifying, folks. Steve Bocock is going to grab his first pole of the season with Dusty Bloodworth in second, going to be starting on his outside. But folks, without further ado, qualifying is over. It is time to head down to the track and get your drivers meeting started here for Atlanta Motor Speedway. All right, everyone, can you all hear me?
Yeah. I got you.
All right, everyone, welcome back here to race number 7 here, season 2, here in the Truck Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You guys have excuse me, you guys have 5 sets of tires tonight, 4 of those sitting on pit road for y'all. It's going to be a good one. Let's back it up. Last season we had a really good race here. Let's back it up with another good performance here tonight. You guys have 30x incident counter and 2 fast repairs. I forgot to drop that down to 1. So let's be patient though. Let's not let those 2 extra or that 1 extra fast repair go to your head. Let's have a good race tonight. Let's keep it clean. I talked about it during the practice session. That red and white line will be treated as the yellow line at Daytona and Talladega. You are not allowed to go underneath that anywhere on the track, tri-oval corners, wherever, to advance your position. So try to be careful with that. If you do, our race control, Matthew Erickson, he will give you guys a black flag for it. Let's have a good race tonight. Your pace car speed's 55 and your pit speed's 45. Anybody got anything tonight?
Yeah, I got 2 things. It's a tight tri-oval or a dog leg. So outside line, make sure you're running up against the wall. Otherwise, we're going to have some wrecks. And coming off the exits, it gets a bit squirrely. So be careful. Give that guy a little extra room on the low line. Otherwise, again, we're going to have some extra wrecks.
Absolutely. You all have 19-mile-an-hour winds right now coming out of the north, so that is going to be blowing everybody around here tonight. So just be mindful of that as well.
I've just got to say, instead of doing the podcast, Ronnie, you should do a comedy show. If you really think with an extra fast repair, we're going to be calm and collected and be patient, yeah, you're funny, dude. I like your jokes. You know, look at that comedian role, man. You get good money for that.
Absolute stand-up comedian. Jeff Dunham better watch out.
Hey, a guy can dream, right?
You can dream. Before lap 10.
That's being generous. That's still being generous, Peyton.
What's that? That's the funny part. It's true.
Hey, if Peyton can predict the NASCAR Cup winner on Tuesday, then by golly, he'll probably predict a caution for lap 10.
I'm feeling lap 8. I don't know why, but 8 for Kyle Busch. It's been a lucky number. Lap 8, we're going to have yellow. Go Kyle.
Hey, Peyton, don't wreck coming to the white flag this time again this year.
No promises.
You guys hear me okay in the chat?
Yeah, we got you, Nick.
Everybody hear me okay?
Yep, got you, Matt. But all right, if no one else has anything, you guys got about 30 seconds till the gridding starts. So if y'all get any black flags you feel like you shouldn't have, make sure you contact Matt, and he will do as he sees fit. Let's have a good one tonight, and let's end this thing on a high note. Let's get it.
Remember, everybody, he has an announcement after the race that I'm looking forward to. I don't know what it is. I'm just looking forward to it.
Absolutely. If y'all are interested in it and don't want to go back and watch the live stream, it will be announced after the post-race interviews. So if y'all want to hear it, jump into the Hangout chat and Discord after the race, and that is where it will be announced. But all right, it's gridding time. Let's all have a good one tonight. Let's get it. All right, folks, you can see them. They are gridding. Let's get your gridding up here for the 7th race here of Season 2 here of the NEXXTCAR Truck Series. Grabbing his first pole ever here on iRacing in the NEXXTCAR Truck Series, Steve Pocock is going to put that number 12 on the front row with the number 51 of Dustin Bloodworth on his outside, with Jonathan Wright in 3rd, Nicholas Trudeau 4th, Trent Branson 5th, and Brandon Dunford in 6th. J.D. Larson 7th, Ronnie Norman 8th, Aaron Moore 9th, Nicholas Don Francisco in 10th, Cole Larson 11th, Mitch Diamond 12th, Payne Tulloch 13th, Christopher Thomas 14th, Jeff Taylor 15th, Matt Tucker 16th, Andrew Bolander 17th, Robert Song 18th, Toby Kelsey 19th, Austin Schultz 20th, Robert Babcock 21st. Matthew Erickson is not racing, so that will move Alberto Abar up to 22nd. David Chandler 23rd. Obviously, I'm not racing, so that will move nobody up into the 24th. John Turner will be 25th, and Jimmy Emos will round out the field in 27th. Folks, we have got a full race session tonight here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. What could possibly go wrong here in this one? The pace car waiting on everyone in the field to head to the grid, and we are going to get down there and get in pre-race interview here with your pole sitter, Steve Bocock, once the pace car leads the field off of pit road.
Hey, Steve, talk real quick. What? Yeah.
Hey, Steve, it's Ronnie up in the booth. You got me, buddy?
10-4, hear you.
All right, buddy. Grabbing your first pull here on iRacing. That's the easy part. Now's the hard part of keeping it and getting to victory lane. How are you going to do it tonight?
I just try to steer clear of the wreck. I normally pretty fast at the bigger tracks, but I just can't seem to get lucky enough to stay out of the wreck. So that's just management, try to manage my wreck.
All right, buddy. Good luck tonight. How many pacing laps do you all have?
We got 1 degree.
Copy that. Good luck, everybody. All right, folks. The pace car leading the field down the backstretch for the first time tonight, down into turns 3 and 4. The lights are off on that Ford Mustang. Drivers, reach up there and pull them seatbelts tight just one more time for me here in the booth broadcast here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Steve Bocock is going to be leading the field for the first time in his iRacing career here in the NEXXTCAR Truck Series. The pace car leading the field out of turn 4 for the first time tonight. Hooking that hard left onto pit lane. The control of the field into flagman's hand. The field coming into the Geico restart zone. Green flag's going to be in the air here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for 120 laps tonight. Up through the gears they go. Bumper to bumper, side by side, heading down here into turn number 1. These first couple of laps are going to tell us everything we need to know about this race tonight. Steve Bocock's going to clear that outside line, but here comes the 04 going to his outside, side by side. Several drivers down on the apron, getting out of the way here in this one, dropping to the back, treating it just like a super speedway at Daytona or Talladega. Side by side, they are out of turn number 4. The 04 is going to lead them back to the line to complete lap 1. Jonathan Wright in the 04 now under pressure from Steve Bocock on the inside, who's got Trenton Branson behind him. And the 51 of Bloodworth making his return to NEXXTCAR. Big push by Trudeau with a big save by the 51. How about J.D. Larson in that number 18 Monster Energy Toyota? He's finding himself up there in the top 6 right now. Great qualifying run by him. Up into the wall goes, I believe, the 1. I'm not sure who that was that got up into the outside wall. There's a lot of guys that are running different paint schemes than usual tonight, but Steve Bocock claiming his stake at the front of this one on that inside line here. 3 laps down here. Now the 04 of Jonathan Wright clears that inside line with the big push from the 51. Drops it down to the inside line to block the 12. Here comes Bocock right back at him. All over the back bumper of the 04. The 51 now leading the charge on that high line. Nobody goes with them out there. Big gap between himself and the rest of the field behind him. The 19 of Dunford, the closest one behind him. And that is going to cost him a lot. But now Steve Bocock's going to lead that inside line up to the outside line. The 12 goes to the outside of the 04. Here comes Nick Trudeau now on the back bumper of the 04. Side by side, the first 5 rows. Bocock leads lap 5. Now the 04 is going to clear that outside line. Again, he jumps up in front of Bocock. He was not clear. Bocock into the outside wall. That's going to stack everybody up behind him. That is really going to stack up that outside line. That's going to keep them all going straight, though. But Bocock's going to fall from the lead back to 5th. Now, going to have to try and find a hole on that inside line. Everybody's going to keep it going straight here. They keep it all going. Bocock falling back to 6th now under heavy... The 65, here comes the 17 of Peyton Tulloch working his way up to 7th, side by side with Branson, fighting out of turn number 2. But you can see just how squirrely these trucks are down the backstretch. Well, these guys are dealing with 17-mile-an-hour winds right now, and that is what is making these trucks hard to keep under control here, is now Tulloch is on the inside of his teammate into 12. But here comes, here comes J.D. Larson in that 18 up to 3rd. Nick Trudeau leading the charge on that high line. He's got the 51 all over his back bumper. Big sideways save by the 51. The field really starting to get a gap from about 13th on back here. Coming to complete lap 7 here of 120. J.D. Larson loose into the tri-oval. We heard him talk about it in the pre-race, folks. That tri-oval is narrow, especially in the dog leg. And if you're in that high line, you have got to be careful not to pinch the guy on the inside down, because as soon as you do, well, that's when things get interesting. So these drivers, there's danger all around this track tonight. But you see a lot of these guys abandoning that high line and dropping down to that low line. But these guys continue to run bumper to bumper, side by side here from the front, 7, 8 rows here. The 11 of Jeff Taylor trying to play both lines here, bouncing from the inside line out to the outside line. Now, Nick Trudeau, your last season's winner in that number 89 Valvoline Chevy, now trying to get to the outside of the 04. He's going to do so, trying to lead his first laps here tonight. Big push by the 51 into 12. Trudeau's going to clear that inside line. Maybe not, as the 04 is going to come back with that full momentum from the 18. The 04 is going to try to clear him off the corner. He's not going to be able to do so. The 89 is going to get the big momentum run. Trudeau's going to lead him back to the line here to start lap 10. Trudeau is going to lead his first laps of the race. Side-by-side action all around this track here so far in this one. Ronnie Norman finds himself all the way back there in the 13th position. -5 from the start of the race. Right now, your biggest mover of the race, the 65, the 17, and the 5, all +5 positions from where they started. So all three of those guys, Christopher Thomas down on the apron there in the 5, but they all continuing to make their way up through this field together here. But back out front, still side by side, 10 down, a long way to go in this one. Larson, way down on the apron. That's going to make up 3-1. The 12 is going to get stunned. The 12 is going to get turned. That is Steve Bocock. Major implications for your pole sitter, and we get our first caution here on lap 12. That all started when J.D. Larson got down on that apron through turns 3 and 4. That forced them 3 wide, and I just don't know if Steve Bocock knew they were 3 wide. Let's back it up and see what transpired. I mean, we saw it, but it all started when the 18 got down on that apron. Right there, you can see it on the entrance into turn 3. I talked about it. The wind was going to be blowing these trucks all over the place. Well, maybe that was a factor in that one. But right there, then at 65, just instead of lifting, went up and just tagged the 12 right there. And right around goes Steve Bocock, your pole sitter. Jeff Taylor, major impact with that outside wall. But it's a good thing these guys have 2 fast repairs tonight, because a bunch of these guys are going to be coming down to use that here on lap number 12 in this one. But right now, folks, it is going to be Dustin Bloodworth leading the field here under caution. Lap 13 of 120. Long way to go. And a bunch of these drivers already going to have to use their 1 fast repair here tonight. That's going to leave these guys with just 1 left. I accidentally gave these guys 2. So they're going to get lucky with that one. A lot of these guys are going to catch a big break with that. But you can see things really starting to shake up here on your tower. Bloodworth, Thomas, Diamond, Branson, and Tulloch are going to be leading the field here in your top 5. But coming to complete 13 laps this time. Christopher Thomas in the 5. Awesome to see him back out there. He missed the last couple races due to a passing in his family. So, Chris, I hope you're doing well, buddy. I hope your family is doing well, and great to see you back out here, brother. But right now, your biggest mover of the race is the number 98 Acme Chevy Silverado, plus 18 positions. Jimmy Emos has cracked his way inside the top 10. He is going to be running around here in the 9th position right now. So Jimmy Emos having himself a fine start to this one here in Atlanta. But on the opposite side of that is your biggest loser of the race so far, and that is Steve Bocock into 12. Obviously, he grabbed his first pole of the season. Well, right now, he is back in that 18th position, so not the way that Steve wanted this race to start, but if anyone can put what just happened behind them and focus on the rest of this race and still find themselves up there at the end of this thing, well, it's that number 12 Chevy. He is definitely one of the prolific super speedway racers here in the league, and never, ever count that 12 truck out. But, folks, you see it. The lights are off on the pace car. We are going back racing this time. The lights are off on the pace car. The field side by side here in this one, heading through turns 3 and 4 once again. A beautiful look at all 27 Truck Series drivers out there right now as they head through turns 3 and 4, looking to get back to racing this time. The pace car hooking that hard left back onto pit road. The 51 is going to be leading the field back to the green flag this time here into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is going to be back out in the air here at Atlanta. Beautiful launch by the 51. He's going to clear the outside line of Christopher Thomas. He's going to jump up there immediately. Trent Branson did not get a great launch there. He's going to fall back off the back bumper of the 5, and that's going to allow the 65 to clear the 5. That is Mitch Diamond. He's going to work his way up there into second, but here comes the rest of the field. Matt Tucker's going to abandon it. He's going to be dropping to the back. He doesn't like what he sees. Here comes the 65 with a crossover. It's not going to work. Down onto the apron he goes, back up the track through the middle. They all split him. They go 3 wide. They all keep it going. The paint to luck is going to be the one that's going to lose it all through turns 3 and 4. Dropping back is the 17. Dusty Bloodworth holding his own after a crossover move by the 65. Does not work. Well, Christopher Thomas is going to take full advantage of that in the 5. He's going to take the lead. Here comes the 89 trying the same move. He's going to make it work this time to the inside of the 5 of Thomas. Nick Trudeau back to the front here at Atlanta. Side by side in his mirror behind him. Trudeau goes to the same exact move he just saw fail. Well, he made it work that time. Christopher Thomas is going to fall back to 3rd, but here comes Bloodworth on that inside out of 2. Nick trying to play both lines right now, trying to block that outside line. Now he's going to have to drop to the inside line because the 51 is going to have a full head of steam. He does not. He stays to the outside. Side by side drag race out of turn number 4. Trudeau's going to keep the lead here to start lap 19. Oh, the 51's going to drift up. The 5's going to save it. Christopher Thomas is not going to save it. He's up into the outside wall. We stay green. The field spreading apart to get around the 5 who's back up into the outside wall. Major damage to the right front of that number 5 of Christopher Thomas. Trudeau loving what he's seeing around him. These guys beating and banging on each other. You see it. A 3-truck breakaway at the front with the 65 at Diamond looking to his outside with Branson towing behind. 2-second gap between first and fourth. So Trudeau, Diamond, and Branson here on lap 19 are going to be looking to work together here, not get too racy, keep things calm, and try to keep this big gap between them. But Bloodworth now is sitting duck in fourth as he has nobody around him. The next car behind him is J.D. Larson, 0.84 seconds back. But he's got some big help of the 6 of Norman, who's got the right of behind him, and Dunford, Emos, and Tulloch. Remember, Peyton just had that big save out of turn 4 that last time. So Peyton's going to be looking to work his way back up there. As now you got Dunford looking to the inside of the 04. The 6 is going to try to look to the inside of the 18, but he didn't really have the chance to get up there. But they're going to work their way back up there to the 51, and they are going to become a 7-truck pack here to see if they can work their way and catch these leaders. But, folks, these guys still bumper to bumper at the front of this thing. 20 laps down, 100 left to go here tonight. Still a lot of racing here at Atlanta. Alberto Eibar is your first retiree of the race. You saw him running around in the 24th position. I'm sorry, the 25th position. But that pack caught the 51 of Bloodworth, and they did not pick him up. They forced him to the back. Now running on the inside of Don Francisco to 48. Now to the outside of him goes Robert Asong. The field really fanning apart here down in the backstretch. Kind of surprising to see these guys fanning apart that much. I mean, this is a super speedway. I'm surprised these guys aren't, all over each other's back bumpers and, pushing as much as you see them do at Daytona and Talladega. But hey, maybe they learned something at Daytona and Talladega this season. Maybe they learned that, bump drafting, well, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But, folks, things are starting to heat up at the front as Larson, Norman, and Dunford have caught your lead pack of 3. They got the racing side by side. Well, look at what that did for the guys behind them. They are now joined back up there. We have got a 6-truck breakaway at the front of this thing side by side as Trudeau, with the help of Branson, is going to lead these guys back to start lap 24. Here comes that 65 of Mitch Diamond looking to the inside of Nick with the help of the 18 of J.D. Larson. Don't get him mixed up with the son, Cool Larson. Cool Larson's in the 26. J.D. is in the 18 with Norman. Trying to get up there with the help of Dunford, your last week's winner behind him. And here comes the rest of the field, as now everybody is pretty much caught back up to this main pack. You see Christopher Thomas in the 5 holding it down low, letting the field go right on by him. Let's jump inside the cockpit of the 6 of Ronnie Norman and see what exactly he is seeing here. I'm sorry, we're on Robert Asong. Oh, contact between the 04 and the 48 right in front of his song. He's going to keep it going. They're all going to miss it. And they're all going to keep it going straight. We stay green, but, folks, these guys are beating and banging like it's short track racing here at Atlanta. Absolutely love it. Here's the gyro cam to show you the high banks of Atlanta. Woo, sideways is the 3 of a song. You see him fighting that wheel, sawing it back and forth left to right. Let's stay on his gyro cam here through turns 3 and 4. You can see just how aggressive this banking is here now at Atlanta. And that is what has made this a mini super speedway here. Big move by the 04 to go to the outside. Now his song's going to try to maybe look through the middle. Thinks better of it. Jumps back up there behind the 04. Now to the outside of J.D. Larson. But Nick Trudeau continuing to lead the way here as they come back to start lap 28 of 120. Bloodworth rounding out your top 10. You saw him major saves by a couple of these guys here tonight. Well, he was one of them, and now finds himself back there in the 10th position. That black and red, we got major blinking there by the 21. That is iRacing's form of lag. Most games you rubber band back and forth. Well, when it comes to iRacing, you kind of blink, and that is what you just saw the Mobil 1 Chevy of Aaron Moore in the 21 do. And like I said, that is iRacing's form of lag. So that is not what you want to see when you are at Super Speedway Racing, is the guy in front of you that you're trying to work with start blinking, because you don't know where that truck is for that split second that he disappears. And that can make things interesting, especially at a super speedway. When you're relying on that guy in front of you, you're trying to get up there and push with him. As you can see, Branson all over the back bumper of the 89. So that's going to be something that a lot of these guys keep in mind as the laps wind down here in this one. Let's jump on board that. Oh, they're wrecking in turns 1 and 2. You see the smoke out front. We're going to stay green for now, but 2 trucks stopped on the inside apron. Make that 3. We stay green as the leaders making their way through turns 1 and 2, catching up to the pack that just wrecked. But the green flag's going to stay out. But the lead pack still side by side, bumper to bumper through the tri-oval here to lap 30. 30 down, 90 to go. Schultz going to be mixing it up with the high line of leaders. Nick's going to have to jump out of the gas. He's going to have to find a new way around the 56. He's going to get to his inside, but that's going to stack things up on the exit of 2. Schultz now going to be mixing it up with the leaders here as you see the 4 and the 8 down on that inside line, letting the lead pack go. Schultz could have done that, but thought better of it. Now that's going to hurt Trudeau's. He's going to fall all the way back to 5th, but the 40 or the 24 Branson is going to jump to his outside. Hassan trying to figure out which line to go with, but now Trudeau trying to work his way back up on that outside line. The one of David Chandler is going to get a little squirrely there through turns 1 and 2. He is the 4th truck on that inside line in that bright blue and chrome number 1. Trying to work his way back up there. And his return, big bobble by the 04. Jonathan Wright's going to save it, but you see what that did to that inside line. That's going to stack everyone up behind him. Now, the 65 of Diamond's going to have to try to defend all by himself between the against the 89 and the 24. Now the 04 down on the apron once again after having his big save through 3 and 4 that time. That's going to really stack him up this time on that inside line. Now the 65 all by himself against the 89 and the 24, who are going to try to work their way around the outside. Trudeau and Branson outside, 89 and 24, taking the battle to the right of the 65, or I'm sorry, Diamond of the 65. Now you saw the 1 dive, make that aggressive move to that outside line. He wants to get out from behind that 04. Back-to-back set of corners. Major wobbles by that 04. Maybe scared that 1 a little bit. I don't blame him. Get out from behind that guy. You know, go to that high line, especially with the high line having a big momentum. But David Chandler up into the outside wall through 3 and 4. He's going to stack up that inside line. We were just talking about him getting out from behind the 04 for stacking up that inside line. Well, now David Chandler does it right back to him. But that's going to open up the door for the 12 of Steve Bocock. Your pole sitter still trying to recover from an early incident up to the 10th position, but now trying to fight his way back up to the front. We talked about him there in the pre-race. He feels good about his chances tonight. He said he's going to have to avoid the carnage. Well, that first caution, he was unable to avoid it on lap 12. But these drivers, well, they're racers at heart, so they're going to go out there and they're going to put 100% out there every race or every lap. And right now, Steve Bocock trying to work his way back up to the front here in that 10th position. But Diamond and Trudeau continue to run side by side with Wright and Branson behind him. Now, J.D. Larson in at 18 on the inside of the 24. You got the 5 of Christopher Thomas once again jumping down onto that apron, letting the lead pack go by. Now you got the 14 of Babcock. He's going to try to block Trudeau. Up into the outside wall goes the 89. That's going to stack up the field behind him. Babcock throwing a huge block on the leaders. The 14 mixing it up with the outside leaders. That's going to put the 89 to the outside wall. He's going to fall from second all the way back to 8th in that 89 truck. Not what is going to make Trudeau happy there in that one, because Babcock definitely had a chance to get out of the way there and decided to throw a block on the lead pack on that outside line. But now you see the big run the 89 is going to get. He's going to go right back to that outside line, to the outside of Hasong in the 3, trying to get the draft off of Larson up there in the 18 in front of him. Now he's going to be behind Larson pushing. Three wide. You see him through turns 3 and 4, right into the trial. Well, not the place to go 3 wide, but Nick's going to do it on the inside of Bocock, on the outside of Bocock and on the inside of Larson. And that is going to get it to where Branson cannot go with him. Now Trudeau's going to have the 3 of a song with the wobble there coming through turns 1 and 2. He's going to save it. But now that 89 has got a new drafting partner in the 3 of a song. Oh, the 51 of Bloodworth's going to get turned. Steve's going to get up into the outside wall again. Caution's going to fly for the second time tonight here on lap 39. The 51 is going to get turned in that one. Dustin Bloodworth making his return to NEXXTCAR. He was running in the 3rd position when it happened. Let's back it up and see what happened here. Maybe a push gone wrong by the 89 of Trudeau. The 51 jumps to the outside in front of the 89. And then Trudeau just gives him a shot right there. Doesn't get off his bumper. And right around goes the 51, the 24 with nowhere to go. And the rest of the field's going to avoid it. But, man, the 51 had a good race going up until this point. Let's jump inside the cockpit of, Nicholas Trudeau here and see what exactly he saw in this incident. Here they are heading down the backstretch, leading the charge on the outside. The 51 jumps up there in plenty of time. He didn't actually make contact with him. I think he just took the air off the 51. We talked about it going into turns 1 and 3. This wind was going to play a factor. And I think it was just a matter of the wind and a matter of the 89 being on his back bumper that took him out there in that one. But, folks, we are going to be under caution for the second time tonight. So we are going to take a break here in this one. We'll be right back to bring you more of the action here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Don't go anywhere, because we have got a lot more racing left in this one. All right, folks, you see it. The lights are off on the pace car. The field side by side here, getting ready to go back racing this time. Nick Trudeau, very interesting call here. The last time the leader, that 89 truck pitted, was on lap 12. Well, now everyone around him is on fresh tires. They've all pitted on lap 40, but he has got to put that behind him, and he is going to have to focus on this green flag start because, well, we've seen it several times. You stay out like this, well, you are extremely prone to spinning those rear tires on the restart. So that's going to be something that 89 is going to have to be mindful of. And not only him, but the 3 trucker Robert Asong as well. But the pace car hooking that hard left, back onto pit road, the control of the field, in the hand of the 89. Green flag's going to be back out in the air here at Atlanta. Trudeau's going to get himself a great launch here on this one. The 65 not clear to 3. 3's going to cut him a huge break. Coming out of the dog leg into turn number 1. The 65 was not clear. Forced his way down there in front of the 3 because he saw he had absolutely no help behind him. Jumped down there. The 3 of his song is going to cut the 65 a huge break. Now they go to the outside working together. Big pushes by the 3. You saw how squirrely the 65 and the 3 were heading into turn number 3. Now side by side, drag race out of turn 4 to see who's going to lead lap 43. It's going to go to the way of the 65 of Diamond. Now, Deluxe going to work his way up there into 4th. Branson on that outside line. He's been working with the 89 all night long. Well, he has lost his dancing partner, and now he is going to have to find a new friend where he is in the 3 and the 21. But big push is still continuing from the 3. The 65 bouncing all over the place from him. Going to take the momentum down to that inside line. Take the air off the 89. Big block on that inside line. Now, Trudeau's going to, I thought for sure he was going to try to go through the middle there and make it 3 wide. But he has got a choice to make. Can he stay on the inside line? He's going to be forced to as the 3 of a song with a push from the 24 is going to get to his outside. Now, where does Diamond go? He's going to have to make that truck as wide as he can with these guys side by side behind him. You can see the field split in 2 parts here. You've got your first 10 guys, then you've got your second 10 guys from 11th to 20th in the second pack. Then you've got your 1st through 10th up here in the first pack. That is a strategy call that you will see a lot at super speedway races, whether it's Daytona and Talladega or right here on the short mini super speedway of Atlanta. These drivers, they like to, just lay back and race calm and let the leaders out front here do their thing. But now you can see that second pack, single file, catching back up to the front pack, being led by the 65 and the 3 now. Hissong making his way to the outside of the 65 with the pushes from the 24. '65 is going to clear the outside line of Hissong. Does he jump up there and block him? He's clear to do so, but instead he's going to stay with the 89. Use the big pushes from Nick heading into turn 1 to try to give him that momentum. But the 3 of Hissong not backing down, not giving up. Hard charging around that outside. Big run out of turn 2. Side by side drag race down the backstretch. It's all coming down to who is going to be willing to push the deepest into the turns, whether it's the 89 of Trudeau or the 24 of Branson. But Hissong going to get the big run out of turn 4 off that high line. He's going to lead him back to lap 49. 3 wide out back to 14's into the outside wall. We're going to stay green. Babcock's going to gather it up. He's going to keep that truck running. He's 2 laps down right now in the 23rd position. But you see it. Branson back into the outside wall. He has done that a couple times now tonight on that high line. Does it once again there, and that is going to back that outside line up, and that is going to allow the 65 to clear him. Trudeau trying to clear him. Does he jump to the outside? He does not. The 65 does, though. He's going to go to the outside. Paint Deluxe now pushing the 89. Trudeau with the shallow entry. You saw him getting super loose into turn 1. He's going to have to save it. Branson now going to drop it down to that inside line. Get behind the buddy he's been working with all race long. Leading that 89 on that inside charge. Aaron Moore in the 21. Now the 3rd truck on that outside line leading Turner in the 29 up there. Trudeau back to the point here on lap 50. With these guys running side by side, bumper to bumper like this, folks, let's take full advantage of it. It's time to NEXXTCAR it up here at Atlanta. 50 laps in, a long way to go, but it is time for the NEXXTCAR it up. Well, that's going to be cut short by the big one here at Atlanta. John Turner heading into turn 3 is going to get turned into 29, and your caution is going to fly for the 3rd time tonight. Actually, that started way in front of Turner. That started up front in the 65. Probably just another big aggressive push, if I had to guess, that is going to get that 65 turned. Hassan had been aggressive with the pushes all night long. Well, right there, another aggressive one. The 65 goes around, the 17 involved, and basically everyone else on that outside line. Emos, Jimmy Emos has just made it through that wreck. We are going to back it up, and we are going to see what exactly Jimmy Emos saw in this number 98. All is good out of turns 1 and 2 and down the backstretch, and then mayhem heading into 3. Actually, Jimmy did get quite a bit of damage there, but not a lot of damage. There's a lot of netcode involved in that one. But, folks, we are under caution for the 3rd time tonight. But Nick Trudeau's going to lead the field off of pit road. Jonathan Wright in the 04 is going to be coming out second. But, folks, we're going to step away here for a quick break. Don't go anywhere, because we got a lot of racing left here in Atlanta. We will be right back to bring you more of the green flag action here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Like a trumpet roll. Yeah. I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows.
All right, the lights are off on that Ford Mustang. That means one thing and one thing only. We are going back racing this time. The field, side by side. We are not going green this time. I take that back. The lights are back on the pace car. The restart is going to be extended one more lap. Now, everyone has pitted on lap 53, so this is going to be interesting here. Remember, Trudeau has one set of tires more than everybody else, as he did not pit since lap 12, that first caution. So, everyone else, they pitted on lap 42. Well, now, They are all on equal terms of tires. Lap 53 is the last time these guys pitted, so everyone is equal. Now you see Peyton Tulloch coming back down pit road here. Implications on that 17 truck, maybe. We're going to ride along here and see what exactly is going on with that 17 truck. He is going to give up the 5th running place as he is going to be coming into his pit stall here. Maybe topping off with some fuel there. I didn't see any tires get put on. And that 17 truck is down and away here. But folks, the lights are off this time on that pace car. So we should be going back racing this time. And when we do, 56 laps completed this time. Not exactly sure what's going on with the Toyota symbol there, but clearly that is not exactly working. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Toyota symbol, but it is not loading in too good there. So let's just make it back to the gap here as we are getting ready to go back racing this time, folks. The pace car hooking that hard left back onto pit road, control of the field, back in the hands of the 89 of Trudeau. Your winner here last season. He is going to lead the field back into the Geico restart zone. Green flag's going to be back out in the air here at Atlanta. Great restart there by the 89. He is going to get a huge lead on the rest of the field. Now he's going to have to determine, does he go to that inside line? Does he go to the outside line? Which place is the place to go? But they're going to be side by side as Turner is going to clear that outside line as well. So that's going to make that decision just a little more easier for Trudeau, as now he's going to be going wherever the 29 car goes. To the inside he goes, well, so does Trudeau. Now, side by side behind him, he's now going to have to make that decision on which line to go with, which line to block, but he is going to determine that outside line maybe had too much momentum. He's going to stay to the inside. Here comes Turner right back at him, 3 by 3 behind him. The 65 up into the outside wall there. That's going to stack up the one who's going to make an aggressive dive to the inside of him. The 04, you saw him get squirrely out of turn 2 from the aggressive pushing. Well, that's going to push the 65 up into the outside wall, and it's going to drop him back to 5th. And now, David Chandler in the one's going to be stuck outside all by himself. But the 04 now, bumper to bumper with your leader, Nick Trudeau, and the 89 side by side out back behind him, Larson and Turner. Side by side from 13th on back. Oh, Schultz is going to get turned. Hassan saves it. He is not going to save it. Around goes the 17. Around goes the 24. Caution's going to fly for the 4th time tonight. And that is a result of a couple of these guys coming down pit road. The biggest one, the 17 of Tulloch. Remember, that stems from his decision to come down and pit there under the 1 to go during that last caution. Had he have stayed out, he would have been way ahead of this. But let's back it up and see what happened there between the 56 and the 3. His song, that just honestly looks a lot like netcode. Let's see if we can't get a better angle here. Let's go ahead and jump up to our HVAC Designs blimp. Yeah, a little bit of netcode there, a little bit of side drafting, and right around they go. But the 3 is going to be on pit road getting some of that damage fixed as some of your other leaders coming down pit road as well. From the 04 of right on back coming down pit road. But let's take a quick look through your field real quick here under caution. Nicholas Trudeau from Charlton, Massachusetts, finding his way to the front here. He is currently running around in the lead right now under caution. He has led 24 laps so far at this point. Right behind him, the 18 of J.D. Larson from Oregon, Illinois. In that Monster Energy Toyota Tundra, he has had a very quiet race. He's qualified inside the top 6. Well, now he is finding himself up there in the second position here, 60 laps down, as we are just crossing halfway this time. John Turner in the 29 from Jackson, Kentucky. He has had himself a very solid but quiet night as well. Worked his way up from the up 22 spots, so pretty solid start right now for the 29. Aaron Moore from Keysville, Georgia, in the number 21 Mobile 1 Chevy Silverado, working his way up here inside the top 4 right now. He's had, once again, a very solid, quiet night so far. You know, a lot of good decisions from him. +5. Well, he's had to work his way through some cautions here in this one, so taking full advantage of what is given to him. And another guy taking full advantage, Matt Tucker, in the 25W Chevy Silverado from Anderson, Indiana. He's currently +11 in that 5th position. But, folks, these drivers, side by side, it is time to go back racing this time. Once again, Trudeau is going to have control of the field in his hands this time. What do you say we jump inside the cockpit of that 89 truck here on this restart, huh? Just to see how he gets up through the gears and everything, we're going to be on the cockpit of Nick Trudeau, your control car on this restart here. Going back racing, 62 laps completed here at Atlanta. You can see him now downshifting, and you can hear him downshifting into first. Pace car hooking that hard left back onto pit road. The field coming back into the Geico restart zone. Green flag's going to be back out in the air here at Atlanta. You can see him going up through the gears in the bottom right corner, up to 3rd. When does he make the shift up to 4th? Watch what he does with his hands here heading into turns 1 and 2. Trying to hold as steady of a wheel as he can as he shifts up into 4th right there at 146 mile an hour. Now up to 160 out of turn number 2. He's going to clear that outside line, so he's going to jump up immediately now back to the bottom. You can see his mirror up there in the top right corner. He's got an absolute mirror full of J.D. Larson and an 18 behind him. But mayhem behind your leader. Side by side from 3rd. John Turner's trying to lead the charge on that outside line with David Chandler in the 1 behind him. Schultz is going to bail out. Here comes the 18 of Larson to the outside. The 04 is going to try and squeeze his way up there with them. He will. That is going to leave Nick all abandoned until the 21 gets up there. J.D. Larson is going to lead his first lap here tonight at Atlanta. J.D. Larson now clears both the inside and outside. Nick Trudeau is going to clear the 04 on his outside. Trudeau pays the favorite back, goes to the outside of the 18. Drag race heading into turn number 3. Side by side through turns 3 and 4 to lead the field back to complete lap 65 this time. It's gonna, Larson's gonna get sideways through the dog leg. That's gonna give Trudeau the advantage. He's gonna take back the lead with the big push by the 04 with the 29 of Turner behind him. Side by side, your front 6. Make that now your front 7. Three trucks versus 4 trucks. Which line is going to prevail? 3 on the inside. Make that now 5 on the inside as they make an aggressive move to drop down there. Trudeau drop down there to block that inside line and take their advantage away. Well, So did the 04 of Jonathan Wright. But now Wright's going to bounce it back to the outside, trying to use the side draft as much as he can. But here comes the 18 to save the 89 and push that 89 right back out in front. Jonathan Wright not giving up on that outside line right now at this point. He's got the 29 of Turner and the 1 behind him. The bright blue number 14 Lucas Oil Chevy is not on the lead lap. He is fighting, trying to get a lap back the hard way. He can get that lap back if he is able to work his way up there past the leader. Babcock is the first truck 2 laps down in the 20th position. So if he is able to do that, he would get the free pass if another caution was to come out. 19 trucks still on the lead lap. Jockeying for positions, the 65 going to the outside line of 21 of Moore. He's got his teammate and good friend, the 04 of Wright, with him. I'm surprised the 14 didn't go up there with him. Now, here comes Larson trying to look for an alternate position on Trudeau. Looking to possibly go up in front of the 65. Thinking better of it is right now the momentum run is on that inside line. Here comes the rest of the field behind him. Now the 18 is going to look to the outside. Thinks better of it. Drops back down inside behind the 89. Now the 65 with the big run. Now he's going to have to side draft his way through turns 1 and 2 to get back up there with the leader. Side by side they come once again. The rest is front pack. Now Larson goes to the outside. Trudeau continuing to lead the charge on the inside while now Larson leads it on the outside. The 14, remember, he is a lap down, 2 laps down. He is trying to get his lap back the hard way, just about to go 3 wide heading into 1. Everyone thinks better of it. We live to see another lap here in this one. 70 laps completed here at Atlanta. 50 to go this time. J.D. Larson trying to hold his own on that outside line. No help for the 18. Here comes the 04 of Wright trying to get up there. The 65 is going to try and work his way to the outside line. He's going to get back up there. Here comes the 04 through the middle. Now the American Badass Racing Team, bumper to bumper. Big wobble by the 65 with a big push by the 04 heading into turn number 1. They keep it going straight. A lot of big saves by a lot of these guys tonight. Now, side by side, the 14 into 65. Remember, Babcock into 14 is not for position. He is trying to work his way back up there and find a little bit of luck tonight and try to get one of these laps back. He is currently running around 2 laps down with Branson, both 2 laps down in this one, who Branson is right behind him, the 3rd truck on that outside line. So the 24 to 14, both jockeying for position here to see who's going to get the lucky dog if we get our 5th caution of the night. Big move by the 65 to 21 is going to get shuffled to the apron. He's going to bail out of that one. That is going to give Nick Trudeau a huge lead here, which is not what you want to see at a super speedway because the guys behind you are going to get a huge run up to you. But the 65 and the 04, they're going to tuck in behind the 89. The 21 is going to go from 2nd on that inside line all the way back to 8th and loss of the front draft. These guys out back, all single file from Dunford on back, trying to work their way back up to that lead pack. You see them side by side up ahead of them. This second pack trying to work their way back up. They're all bumper to bumper, not racing, keeping it clean, staying patient, because that is what it takes to win a race here at a super speedway. You've got to be patient. Well, with these guys racing side by side like this up front, well, patience is key because these guys are not racing with patience as they're coming up on another lapped car, the 11 of Jeff Taylor. He's going to take it down to the bottom there. Taylor is going to go 2 laps down now, so he's going to be battling the 14 and the 24 to see who would get the lucky dog if a caution was to come out. but Taylor's going to fall back. That is going to continue to allow the 14 to hold that lucky dog position. Branson not giving up, though. Just 3 trucks behind that 14. The 65 is going to clear that inside line. Maybe not. Trudeau comes right back at him on that inside line with help from the 2-lap truck of the 14. Here, Babcock looking to try to go to the back outside. Up into the outside wall. We're going to stay green. I'm not exactly sure who that was that got up into that outside wall. But Trudeau's going to lead us back to lap 78 here. Bocock, your pole sitter, currently running around in the 12th position. Aaron Moore, major implications on the 21. Remember, he was just running in the 3rd position. Now, finding himself way out back, losing the draft of both packs. Moore is going to drop from 3rd to 18th. Is now Jeff Taylor, 1 lap down in the 11 truck. That is going to take the lucky dog position away from the 14 and the 24. But you see the 14 not letting this stop him from running with the leaders. Right on the back bumper of the 89 through turns 1 and 2. You saw how squirrely they got. This weather certainly starting to play a factor in this one tonight. Let's check it out here. Audio 4's up into the wall.
Yellow.
Caution's going to fly for the 5th time tonight. The 12's going to go for a spin as well. Keep it out of the pit road wall. He's just barely going to keep it out of the wall. The 12 of Bocock. Remember, he had to use a fast repair early on. Well, he has just possibly saved himself from having to use the second one. Let's back it up and let's see what partook here with the 04. Little bit of contact, it looks like, with himself in the 14. The 04 came down. The 14 came up. Right into the outside wall goes the 04. The 29 hard into the outside wall. The 51 of Bloodworth. Great job missing it. The 12 tries to lock it up. He's going to get into the grass. And as soon as you hit the grass here, folks, it is like hitting a sheet of ice. And your truck immediately loss of control. But Steve Bocock does a great job of minimizing the damage on the 12. Let's back it up and see if he possibly got any more damage in this one than it looked like. Riding around behind the 20 of Cole Larson. Everybody's going to lock it up. A little bit of contact there at the 6. Not going to get a whole lot of damage, but then just takes out the cone, hits the grass a little bit, and just barely misses some damage there on that inside pit road wall. So great heads-up move by Steve Bocock in the 12. But Bocock currently is going to be staying out and is going to be scored your leader right now. That is very interesting. That's going to be a very interesting call by Bocock right now after going for that spin. And he's going to decide to stay out in that 12 Chevy. Like I said, it's a very interesting strategy here. Last time he pitted was lap 60 with everybody else. Well, now you see the field going around the 12, who is going to be pitting this time. I'm not exactly sure what the 12 is doing right now. The field, you see him going past him. Not exactly sure what is happening with the 12 right now, but is he going to come down pit road? Indeed he will. I was going to say, that's a very interesting call by him if he does not come down pit road. But with the 12 pitting, that is going to hand the lead right back to Nicholas Trudeau in the 89. I'm sorry. It's going to be the 65 of Diamond. Uh-oh. Well, the whole field just kind of stuttered there for a second. Hopefully that's about the only issue we have right now. Not exactly sure what just happened there, but you saw the whole field disappear and then bounce. Uh-oh. All right. This could get interesting here for a second, folks. Not exactly sure what is happening right now. But hopefully it can get itself fixed here. All right, it looks like my computer decided to finally get its act together here, but we are going green this time here, coming to complete lap 82. The pace car hooking that hard left back onto pit lane. The control of the field in Diamond's hand in the 65. Green flag's going to be back out in the air here at Atlanta. He's not going to get the great launch that we have seen them get all night long, but the 89 is going to clear that inside line. He's going to drop down immediately behind the 65. Now he is going to be pushing that 65 through turns 1 and 2. To the outside goes Trudeau in the 89. No help. Larson stays to the inside. And so does the wanted David Chandler. Remember, Chandler has got revenge on his mind tonight. As soon as the white flag waved last season, himself and Peyton Tulloch got into each other. And they did not bring out the caution to end the race, but they ended their own race as they went from possibly a top 5 to wreckers. So the wanted David Chandler is going to have some revenge on his mind here in this one, because he definitely had a truck to beat last season as they raced their way here at Atlanta. But now finding himself up there in that 3rd position, Trudeau. Remember, nobody went with him on that restart when he just went to the outside. Well, he fell from 2nd to 4th, but he found a hole to drop down into in front of Norman and Don Francisco. But here comes that outside line of Dunford, trying to get that high line rolling. Well, Norman is going to go up there with them. Now, Norman's going to be leading the charge on that high line. Don Francisco maybe thought to join him. Now Norman's going to drop it down in. That's going to leave the 04 of Wright all by himself out there. Tulloch, where does he go? He's going to go to the outside. Tulloch's been caught up in a couple of incidents here tonight, but that's not letting him slow down at all. He's back up there inside the top 10 in that 8th position. But back out front, single file for the first 3 drivers. Now, the 04 of Wright going to the outside. No help with them. Here comes the 17 of Tulloch working his way back up there on the outside of Don Francisco. He's going to get back up there behind the 04. Now Norman and the rest of the field falling back here a little bit. You can see the big run that outside's getting, trying to use a little bit of side draft there. The 04 and the 17 outside. 65, the rest of the front pack on the inside. Where does Diamond go? The outside's going to have the big run out of 4. Diamond decides to stay with that inside line, allowing his American Badass Racing teammate to get to his outside. Right, with the big run, with the big push from the 17. Now, here comes Trudeau, right back on that outside line. The 04 is going to drop down to the inside line, leaving the 17 and the 89 all by themselves outside. And how about the 21 of Aaron Moore, folks? Back up here in the 7th position. You saw him drop back earlier. Now, finding himself right back up here in the thick of it all. Side by side, the 04 and the 17. Big pushes from the 89 and the 65 behind your 2 leaders. Side by side drag race through 3 and 4 coming this time to start lap 90. Peyton Tulloch is going to not clear that inside line, but he is going to lead the field back to the stripe. Trudeau giving it all he has right now, pushing on the back of the 17. We talked about it in the pre-race. Remember, folks, these drivers cannot really use their bumpers here. You see what happens when they do. It is not pretty. And these guys just letting the air do the pushing here at Atlanta. That is the best way to get around this track, because as soon as you try to use your bumper, well, y'all are going to go for a wild ride. And these guys are starting to learn that. You know, at Talladega was a huge eye-opener for this league. You know, a lot of these drivers, they went in there and they were using the bumpers. Well, they learned, maybe I don't have to. Maybe I don't have to be so aggressive. But you see the aggressiveness of the 14 still trying to get a lap back, still trying to race his way up there and get a lap back. He has still scored one lap down. Right now, he is in a lucky dog position battling the 24 at Branson. So right now, the 14 not holding back here, still trying to fight his way up there to get his lap back the hard way. And he's still in that lucky dog position. But folks, we have got 29 laps to go this time. Side by side, jockeying for inside line and outside line. 17 now leading the charge on the inside. 04 on the outside. 89. He's going to get the big run to the back bumper of the 04 he goes. You see how he is not putting the bumper to the back of the 04. He's just giving him the air push. And now the 14 of Babcock jumps up there as well. So that is going to help that outside line a lot here, as that inside line starting to fall apart, as Larson is going to fall off the inside line, the back bumper of the 65. Taylor's going to try to hold it down there. He's going to have to do a whale of a job here, because when you're on the apron here at a super speedway, it is not easy to hold it down there. But he does a great job. The leaders all make it by. Well, that outside line is yet to prevail. 3 versus 2 here. Make that now 4 versus 2, as Larson's going to join the battle on that outside. He thinks better of it. Here comes Chandler trying to crossover move. He's not going to get to his inside, but the 17 still trying to do everything he can here with the help of the 65 to get to the front and take control of this race. Side by side, it's getting dicey out front, folks. These drivers are starting to get a little bit impatient as we are narrowing in on 20 laps to go. You saw Trudeau sticking his nose in the middle, thinking possibly about making it 3 wide. Thought better of it, which I definitely agree with, but these drivers starting to get a little impatient. Their patience only goes so far when you're a racer, and these drivers, their patience is starting to wear out here. 25 laps to go this time. What do you guys say here with 25 laps to go? We try to NEXXTCAR it up one more time here at Atlanta. It was cut short the last time, so let's try it one more time. 25 to go. Things are really starting to heat up here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 21 laps to go this time. Diamond inside, Luck outside. with the help of Wright and Larson behind him. The field, you could throw a blanket over your top 16 drivers here right now. Luck is going to clear that inside line of the 65. Does he stay on the outside? Yes, he does. He's going to take the push from Wright and the 04 behind him. 20 laps to go this time. You're going to see the ticker swap over here as soon as they cross the start-finish line. 20 to go here at Atlanta. Still anybody's race tonight. Oh, and the 14 of Babcock's going to go around. Big carnage. Major implications for the 14 as he was trying to get his lap back the hard way, and we are under caution for the 6th time tonight. And that is going to take out a lot of good trucks here in this one. Caution is going to fly. Let's back it up and see what happened here in this one, folks, because this was not pretty. Just loses it. Larson nowhere to go. Right up in front of Moore. The 25 of Tucker gets into it. And Major. That, folks, is the big one here at Atlanta. Let's back it up, and we're going to jump inside the cockpit of this 14, and you're going to see just how much he was fighting this wheel as they were heading into turn number 1. Watch the steering wheel on the left. You're going to see just how much Babcock had to fight this thing. Right there, he turned it hard right, but just could not quite save it. And then Mayhem follows him into the outside while barrel rolling down the backstretch. But folks, we're under caution for just the 6th time tonight. 18 laps to go. But we are going to step away for another break here in this one. Don't go anywhere because things are just now starting to heat up here at Atlanta. It's going to be a wild finish. It's been a great race so far. This is going to be a finish you do not want to miss.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now. I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone. That's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off best friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold.
All right, folks, the lights are off on that Ford Mustang pace car. We are going back racing with 16 laps to go here at Atlanta. It's going to get wild, folks. This is what these drivers live for. To Luck, Don Francisco, Norman, Bloodworth, Larson, Dunford, Chandler, Diamond, Trudeau, Bolander. Your front 5 rows here on this restart. 16 to go. A lot of fast trucks in this one. Starting up near the front. Well, this is going to get interesting. The pace car hooking the hard left. Control of the field in the hands of the 17. Green flag's going to be back out in the air here at Atlanta. To Luck does not get himself that great of a start, but he's going to make up for it here heading into turn 1. Don Francisco has not found himself up towards the front much here tonight, but now, when it matters most, finding himself up there now. Here comes Bloodworth, fighting his way back up there. To Luck goes to the outside to block Don Francisco. Bloodworth tries to go up there and side draft. Bloodworth now working his way on the inside line. Don Francisco gives up on the outside line. He's going to drop in there behind the 51. Bloodworth's going to lead him back. 15 to go. Side by side for 10 rows on back. Everybody giving it all they have right now. Lapped car ahead. Not exactly sure who that lapped car is coming up, but they might want to get out of the way because things are heating up here at Atlanta. 14 to go. Don Francisco underneath the white and yellow line. That's going to take out the 15. Or I'm sorry, the 51. Bloodworth, big save. We stay green, but that is going to drop Bloodworth out of contention unless we get a late race yellow. Back out front, Mitch Diamond taking full advantage. They got the 11 of Jeff Turner up ahead. Oh, and around goes the 65. Caution's going to fly here with 13 to go. "13 laps to go. We are going to get our 7th caution of the night. Coming through the dog leg. Just a bump gone wrong from the 17. We talked about it. You cannot use your bumpers here in Atlanta because as soon as you do, you are going for a wild ride. Well, Peyton just found that out from the 65. Well, Peyton, that was not smart, buddy. Let's jump inside the our HVAC design chopper here heading through the dog leg. Right there, just a bump gone wrong. The 65 saves it, but that was not pretty for these guys. Peyton to Luck did not fare very well in that one either as things stack up behind him. Yep, that was not pretty, folks. But 11 laps to go here at Atlanta. Don Francisco in the number 48 Chevy. We just talked about him. He has not found himself out front at most of tonight, but here he is when it matters most, finding himself out there right now. But right now, Peyton to Luck sitting on pit road. Same with Bolander. Trenton Branson as well. A lot of fast trucks tonight sitting on pit road with a lot of damage in this one. David Chandler, Jeff Taylor, Jimmy Emos, all on pit road with a lot of damage from that one. Emos down and away here. Looks like he might have stalled it. Nope, he's going to get it fired back up coming out of his pit stall maybe. Yep, there he goes. He's going to get it fired back up and rolling. But folks, a lot of trucks destroyed in that one. A lot of good trucks in that one. But right now, Don Francisco, Larson, Diamond, Wright, and Schultz, your top 5. $10 to go this time. They are going to be going back racing with a 9-lap shootout. Bocock, Kelsey, Bloodworth, all 1 lap down. Tucker Thomas, 2 laps down. A bunch of other fast cars sitting on pit road getting damaged fixed from that one. But folks, they are going to be going back racing with 9 laps to go this time. The lights are off on that Ford Mustang pace car. The field side by side. The race is just now starting. 9 to go when they take the green. This is when things really start to heat up here, folks. These drivers absolutely live for times like this. It seems like every race this season in both the trucks and cup have ended with some sort of controversial finish. Are we in for another one tonight? The 48 at Don Francisco is going to lead the field back to the green flag. Green flag's going to be back in the air. He's going to spin the tires. You saw the 65 have to check up, but they're all going to keep it going rolling, and we are back to racing. 9 to go. The last time that 48 truck pitted was on lap 80. Both the 65 and the 56 behind him pitted on lap 102 along with J.D. Larson in the 18. Now, having to fight, having to make that 48 as wide as he can. Side by side through turns 3 and 4 they go this time. Diamond looking to the outside with a big push from Cole Larson. Son versus son. The 18, the 20. Father, son. They're going to be side by side heading through turns 1 and 2 this time. The 18 is going to fall back a little bit, maybe just leaving a little bit of space for his son if he wants to drop down there. 8 to go. The first 10 rows side by side, pushing on each other. Not using the bumpers, but letting the air do the work for him. Don Francisco is going to nose out ahead of the 65. 7 to go this time. The 04 up into the outside wall through the dog legs. Don Francisco. Oh, the 20's going to get turned. Carnage out back behind the leaders. We're going to have our 8th caution of the night. Cole Larson had himself a fantastic run going, along with the 89 of Trudeau. Well, that is going to hit the crossroads here with 6 laps to go. Not exactly sure what just brought this one out. Oh, the 18, no? The 04 looks like he may have just gave, yep, right there, you can see it. The 04 using the bumpers right there, hooks the 20 down into the inside line. He goes, the 89 involved, the 04 involved, the 20. You cannot use the bumpers here at Atlanta, folks. You would think by this point these guys would have that learned, but apparently not. But we are under caution for the 8th time tonight. 5 laps to go as they run right now. We're going to step away, folks. We're going to be right back here to bring you more of the action here, but we're going to step away so we can save our voice, and we are going to bring you this wild finish here from Atlanta. Don't go anywhere because it's just now getting good.
Train my luck to know while he's caught in the crossfire, and I'm here waking up to the sun and the sound of birds. Society's anxiety, deprived of all that we're blessed with. We just can't get enough, no. Heaven, if you sent us down, so we could build a playground for the sinners, for your saints. You'd be so proud of what we made. I hope you got some beds around, 'cause you're the only refuge now. For every mother, every child, every brother, caught in the crossfire. Trust what I'm given. My faith still needs a gun. Whose ammunition justifies the wrong? And I can't see from the backseat, so I'm asking from above.
All right, folks, you see it. The lights are off on the pace car. The field going side by side behind it. We are going back racing this time. This is what these drivers live for. A 3-lap shootout, folks. This is the equivalent of walking up to the plate here and extra innings in baseball. Bottom of the 10th, bases loaded, 2 outs. You got a full count. This is what every driver lives for. Hitting that home run, hitting that grand slam, making that catch in the end zone with both feet in bounds to clinch the game winner. This is what these drivers live for. This is what these drivers love, and this is what we love up here in the booth broadcast. This is what these drivers are gonna be wanting to get done here tonight. 3-lap shootout. We're still in regulation time, folks. This is not overtime. Don Francisco, Diamond, Larson, Schultz, Moore, Dunford, Norman, Trudeau, Branson, Cole Larson, your top 10, your first 5 rows. That pace car is going to be hooking a hard left. Back onto pit road here as they come out of turn number 4. The control of the field in the 48's hands. He's going to lead the field back to the Geico restart zone. Everybody stacking up behind him. Green flags on him. Back out in the air here at Atlanta. 3-lap shootout to settle it here. Don Francisco gets himself a great launch. The 65 lays back. Is he going to get a big push from Larson behind him? The first 3 trucks, single file. Now, the 65 of Diamond goes to the outside. No help. Here comes Moore to save the 65. J.D. Larson up to second on the inside line. 2 laps to go this time. Now here comes the 65, Don Francisco. He's going to have to make that truck as wide as he can here, but he's going to have to be careful to not leave that inside line open, because as soon as he does, J.D. Larson will be right there to pounce on it. A lap and a half to go. Don Francisco looking to get his first win ever here in the NEXXTCAR Racing League on iRacing. He's found himself in this position a couple times. Now, leading the field back to the white flag. Next flag ends it. The leader, clear the field. Side by side in his mirror behind him. Here comes the 65 of Diamond. These TVs better be strapped down tight, because they're going to go for a wide. The 48 is going to get forced to the outside. That opens up the door for the 18 of Larson. It's all on from here, folks. 3 wide out of turn 4. Big carnage out back. The 18 sideways. The 65 is going to lead him back to the line. Mitch Diamond is going to win it here in Atlanta. Mitch Diamond survives a wacky one here on the final lap. Mitch Diamond, by 2/1000ths of a second, is going to get it done in Atlanta. Don Francisco second, Larson third, Trudeau fourth, and Branson unofficially your top 5. Diamond's going to come back onto the front stretch here for his burnouts. Unbelievable finish here in Atlanta. This, once again, folks, lived up to its name. NASCAR, like I said at the beginning of this broadcast, this was the right choice to make Atlanta the new mini super speedway, and it did not disappoint once again tonight. Nose to nose, the American Badass Racing Team for their burnout duel, the 65 and the 04. Absolutely fantastic job by the 65. Three truck battle. We're going to back it up. We got to see that finish. We have got to see that finish, folks, and just how close it was. Right there, the 56 of Schultz gets sideways heading there into 3. No help. Just loses it all by himself right there. We talked about the wind, what kind of factor it was going to play. Well, it played a huge factor. By half a truck length, he beats out the 48 of Don Francisco. Unbelievable. Let's go ahead and let's check out your race results here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Mitch Diamond obviously getting the win. Don Francisco second. J.D. Larson third. Nick Trudeau rebounding for fourth. Trent Branson spent the majority of this race 2 laps down. Well, he's going to come away with the top 5. Ronnie Norman 6th. Aaron Moore 7th. Cole Larson 8th. Wright 9th. Dunford 10th. Bocock 11th, your pole sitter. 12th is going to go to the way of Schultz. 13th, Toby Kelsey. Give me 1 second here. Trying to get this to fix itself. There we go. Dustin Bloodworth and his return to NEXXTCAR in 14th. Matt Tucker 15th. Christopher Thomas 16th. Jeff Taylor 17th. David Chandler 18th. Jimmy Emos 19th. Robert Babcock 20th. Peyton Tulloch 12 laps down in 21st. Andrew Bolander 22nd. John Turner 23rd. Robert Asong is going to wrap up the field in 24th. But folks, don't go anywhere because these post-race interviews, they're going to be good. Don't go anywhere, and we're also going to be breaking your news here. We got a lot of breaking news to release tonight, so don't go anywhere, folks, because you are not going to want to miss this.
You all day, watch the way them hips sway. Love your body, so I pray. Don't you dare take it away. Can't control what I say. Lost my mind, cause your frame. Hey, girl, what's your name? Lit me up just like a flame. Body in motion, I feel the commotion. Beyond you like lotion, I'm honest and broken. I flow like the ocean, I feel you were chosen. To fix me, I'm broken, my heart that you stolen. Hey, stay with me, play with me, lay with me. Hate to see when you leave, chemistry feels like it's destiny. I just want you laying next to me, and I really don't want you to ever leave. On your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb.
Yeah, let's go. I'm unstoppable, do the impossible. I'm irresponsible, yet I'm phenomenal. I got an arsenal, I'm dropping bombs, you know. No, I'm not stopping, no. Conquer the obstacle. To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion.
Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right, I swear to God that I could drop you, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, let's go. I don't care what they all say. That's right. I'ma do this thing my way. Let's go.
All right, folks, welcome back here to post-race interviews from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Mitch Diamond surviving yet another crazy last lap here at Atlanta. By 2/1000ths of a second, Mitch, you headed back to victory lane.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. It was a good time, and I thought Nicholas had it there in the 48, and I don't know if that door contact slowed him down or not, but, man, that was a crazy finish.
You are not wrong. Three-way battle for the win between yourself, Don Francisco, and Larson. I mean, coming out of turn 4, that was anybody's drag race to win. But you were able to get it done here. And what does this mean here? I mean, Atlanta, it's a new mini super speedway, basically. And to finally get a win on a super speedway.
Yeah, it sucks coming here and losing or running up front and wrecking out. So it definitely makes up for it for sure.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, 36 laps led. You definitely had a strong truck. I mean, once you and the 04 of Jonathan Wright got hooked up there, man, you two were like RFK at Daytona this season. You two were just unbeatable. And, I mean, I don't know how both of y'all saved that truck multiple times because he was pushing you hard. You were pushing him hard at times, and you both were wobbling all over the place but kept it going straight.
It definitely wasn't from a lack of effort, that's for sure. But, yeah, I love racing with JD. It's a good time.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, congrats on this win. You definitely earned it in that drag race.
Hey, man, thank you, and thanks to everybody in the league. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Nicholas Don Francisco, oh so close to getting to victory lane for your first time here in NEXXTCAR.
Oh yeah, this one's going to sting for a little bit, but I'm glad I was able to be in contention for it there at the end. Plan was to ride around until everybody was hopefully out of the race or whatever. So glad I had a shot at it.
Absolutely, man. What did you think coming out of turn 4, seeing the wreckage out back? What was going through your mind right there?
Honestly, I was more focused on racing the 65 and the 18 to the finish line. I didn't even know they were right behind me until checkered flag was waving across the line. And yeah.
Well, you heard Mitch Diamond mention it, the door slam. Did that slow you down at all?
Oh yeah, it hit me pretty good. Slowed me down just enough to get him at the edge.
Absolutely, man. Well, started 10th, coming home in 2nd. Fantastic race for you tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your 3rd place finisher, JD Larson. Man, it has been a while since we've talked to you. Welcome back here, and a 3rd place finish here in this one.
Hey, how we doing, Ronnie?
I'm doing good, man. That was a fantastic finish. 3-way battle drag race to the end. Well, you came away with 3rd. That has got to feel pretty good after that race.
Oh, yeah, we're happy with 3rd. We got door check there at the end. We were 3 wide, and 48 was there stuck in the middle. And, this track 3 wide, it's already slick as it is, and try to push us 3 wide to try to, keep everything gathered up. It's tough. So I hope we put on one hell of a show, and, we'll go away with a 3rd place. And, congratulations to our teammate there, Mitch Diamond. And, we'll get ready to go for Nashville next week.
Absolutely, man. Nashville, that's a race that has not been on the NEXXTCAR schedule yet. How does this give you some momentum heading in there?
Well, I'm running, I just took a look, top 7 in points overall. So, we're holding on. We like to be top 3, top 5 by the end of the season. So, We'll see how it goes in and going into Nashville, and we'll see what we come out with.
Absolutely. And one last question for you. I mentioned it a couple times during this broadcast, but your son has now joined the league. You guys battled side by side and bumper to bumper a couple times. How did that feel to look beside you and in that mirror and see your son out there with you?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I love it. I love every bit of it. I'm actually his crew chief about every race that he does. He's been in some big events. He actually qualified the heat race for the Podium 500, and he went to the last chance qualifier, got knocked out there, and then we just did an ERA event just this last week, and he qualified the heat race, got into the big ERA event. He was running awesome all race. He got top 17. He took out some top drivers. There was a lot of NEXXTCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series drivers in there, and he's holding his own. 14 years old, and I'm absolutely proud of him. I'm looking forward to the future.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, congrats on that top 3 finish.
Yes, excellent. Thank you. I'd like to thank DSR 6 Racing, Monster Energy, and we'll load up. Like I said, get ready to go to Nashville.
Absolutely, man. Moving on to your 4th place finisher, Nicholas Trudeau. You started 4th, you finished 4th, but your race tonight was not that simple.
Yeah, no, it was a really good run. Thrilled with 4th. I would have liked the win and go back to back at Atlanta since we won there last year. But no, we were really aggressive all night and try to stay up front, and we just weren't in the right spot at the end there. But no, with that wreck off of 4, we just missed it and dove underneath everyone that went up to the wall and came home 4th. So I'm thrilled with the top 5 here. Looking forward to next week.
Absolutely, man. You had to survive quite a bit tonight. Had to use, I believe, both your faster pairs, but you're able to rebound here.
And we actually just used one near the end of the race that Jonathan Wright spun in 3 and then took us out there. So it was a really good run. We were up front a lot, but just wasn't in the right spot at the end there. But we had a really fast truck, and we had made some aggressive moves, and it was a really fun race to be a part of.
Absolutely. It was definitely a fun race to call, but congrats on that 4th place finish.
Thanks, buddy.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your 5th place finish, Trenton Branson. What is going on, man?
Oh, nothing. I just hit everything but the pace car and somehow got a top 5.
Yeah, I mean, you were kind of like Nick there. Yeah, you're going to finish exactly where you started, but your race was definitely not that simple and easy for you. You spent most of this race 2 laps down. How were you able to rebound?
I prayed to the iRacing gods that I'd get a few cautions, and luckily they came. But no, we had a fast truck. I took an approach similar to Nick. Of course, we're teammates, so we were kind of trying to work together the best we could. But I took the similar approach to him, just try to be aggressive, stay up front all night, and unfortunately got caught up in an early wreck. Had to use my 2 faster pairs early because just victim of circumstances. Then we got caught on one of them, had to beat towed because the motor blew. But we were able to get a few cautions that benefited us. We were able to get the free passes and wave around and get back on the lead lap. Truck was good though all night.
Absolutely, yeah. That number 24 was definitely a fast truck for sure. But yeah, you mentioned it. You had to overcome a bunch of stuff, and when you went 2 laps down, I mean, you were up there battling with the leaders, right alongside Babcock there. What was your strategy there? Was it to get back in front of the leaders if you could, or was it to just stay ahead of Babcock?
I wasn't just going to back off if I got ahead of Babcock, but the ultimate goal was to get ahead of Babcock. But if I could have got ahead of the leaders, then I would have done it, but I wasn't going to go and force the issue either.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, great job bringing home the top 5. It's been a long time coming for you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your 6th place finisher, Ronnie Norman. What's going on, man?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. You found yourself involved in a couple incidents tonight, but hey, you started 8th. You're going to come home in 6th.
Yeah, I feel like me and everybody on the HVAC team, we executed our plan as much as we could tonight. Obviously, some of us got caught up in others. I was just happy to have the the two fast repairs there for the end because that was when you were really going to need them. So just had to use one, and then we came back to that green flag. Definitely happy to get out of here with the sixth. I wasn't even really expecting to win this race. I was just trying to keep it clean. So I'm not a big fan of the new Atlanta like the old ones. So yeah, no, I just I don't know. It's one of them races where they took a good track away. I felt with the repave. So, but no, like I said, just happy with the whole HVAC team. I think we all finished in the top 10. And then with Nicholas up there finishing P2, so congrats to him on that one. But yeah, no, like I said, we all did what we were supposed to do. Finish this race and just ready to get out of Atlanta and move on to Nashville.
Absolutely, man. Congrats on that 6th place.
Thank you.
Aaron Moore coming away with your best finish of the season so far. What's going on, buddy? As actually, I don't think he is in here. He is not. All right, moving on to Cole Larson. What's going on, man? I know you're in here.
What's up?
So, you definitely had a great truck here tonight. You got turned in with a couple laps to go. Had to go down and use your fast repair. But, hey, you were able to come away with the top 10.
Yeah, at the end there, I was really mad because I was just running, and then the 04 just came and I don't even know what he was doing. He just pushed me into the corner, and it just sucked because I would have probably got up there in the top 5 maybe, but at the end the 56. I think the 56. When he came up, he just ruined all of us, so it wouldn't have really mattered, but it just sucked.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats on that 8th place finish either way.
Yeah, thank you.
Moving on to your 10th places. Jonathan Wright is not in here. Brandon Dunford, your last week's winner. What's going on, man?
Man, we're here. Crazy finish for sure. 56 obviously wrecked us. He did reach out to me and apologize for that. I know there wasn't a lot that he could have done there. Just one of those things, though. Wish it would have ended a little bit different. But, yeah, the HVAC, Ronnie hit on it. The HVAC team did a nice job all day just executing where we needed to. Yeah, we were caught up in a couple things, but overall it felt good, with the strategy is just kind of, you hate to run up front all day and then just get canned right there at the end. But if anybody wants to go watch my replay, man, I did a Ross Chastain to just hug the wall and hold the throttle because that's all I could do. So, but overall, man, we're still happy with at least the top 10.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, congrats on that top 10.
Yeah, man, and congrats to the winner there, Mitch. We were really hoping Nicholas was going to come away with that, but we'll get him up there. We'll get that win.
Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and let's check out your point series standings now after race number 7 here at Atlanta. Last week, Dunford cut into that lead by Norman quite a bit, but tonight, Norman was able to pull back out there. Dunford still in 2nd, Tucker 3rd, Mitch Diamond in 4th, Trudeau wrapping out your top 5 in the standings. Well, folks, what a race and finish we have all just witnessed here tonight. For those who maybe didn't catch the subtle hints throughout the broadcast tonight, it's time to reveal your breaking news. This news, I'm sure, will come as a shock to the drivers of all series of NEXXTCAR and even some of the fans. The checkered flag waving tonight on the last lap did not only signal the end of tonight's race, but also the end of an era. For the last 4 years, my name and my Twitch and YouTube channel have been associated with NEXXTCAR in some sort of way or another. From a co-owner of the league, a Cup Series driver, a Truck Series driver, and now Truck Series booth broadcaster for the last 3 years. For the last 3 years, at the end of every season, you all have heard me say some variation of the following words. All good things must come to an end, even in racing. Well, tonight, those 11 words couldn't be more truer. Tonight, I say my goodbyes to NEXXTCAR, its drivers, and its fans. What a ride it truly has been. I couldn't imagine this journey the last 4 years with anyone other than my NEXXTCAR family. To all the past and current members, thank you. Thank you for your love and support of myself and NEXXTCAR. To the drivers of the Truck Series, thank you for all the memories and the incredible moments you all have provided for the booth broadcast. If it wasn't for you all and the incredible show you put on, well, there just wouldn't be any reason for me to do what I do and to do what I love, the booth broadcast. I know there are going to be some changes in the future now, But don't let that stop you all from doing what you do best, putting on one hell of a show. To the drivers of the NEXXTCAR Cup Series, what an honor it has been to share the track with you all each and every Monday night. Sure, we had our run-ins, but thankfully, they never got too far. You guys are absolutely incredible, and I hope to join you all back out there someday. We got one more ride together. Let's make it all worth the while tomorrow. To the fans, wow, I don't know where to begin besides thank you. Thank you for everything. Your love and support for my channels in this league have been incredible. When I started doing the booth broadcast 3 years ago on NASCAR Heat for this league, I used to get so excited when my booth broadcasts would hit double-digit viewers. And now, we're easily hitting triple and sometimes even 4 digits in viewership. It has been awesome to see the fan base for this league and my channels grow each and every season. I just hope you all enjoyed the show just as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. And I hope you guys got just as excited and as much as I did each and every Sunday night as we witnessed the magical moments of the Truck Series together. Because man, there sure were a lot of them. To Nick Trudeau, the founder and creator of NEXXTCAR. Thank you, buddy, for asking me to help kickstart this amazing league 4 years ago. I wouldn't have wanted a better friend to do it with. I just can't believe what this has all turned into. We truly built this league from the ground up and made it into what it is today. I don't think 4 years ago either of us envisioned what this league has grown into. That first season, we had maybe 10 guys total, and now we're at 60. And I don't think either of us expected iRacing to be anywhere in the future for this league either. But yet, here we are. It has been one hell of a ride, buddy. To NEXXTCAR as a whole, this isn't a goodbye or farewell. This is more of a until next time. There is still a lot of battles to be had, more paint to trade, and more laps to be ran. Just keep doing what you're doing, as I'm sure I will try to pop in from time to time and see how things are going. And with that, folks, I'm going to leave you all tonight with the same thing I've ended each and every broadcast with the past 3 years. Although tonight they feel a lot heavier coming out of my mouth as there's a lot more emotion behind these following words tonight. This is Ronnie Noggle, signing off for one final time here from the booth for the NEXXTCAR Racing League. It has been an absolute honor. Until next time, have a good rest of your week, and good night.